Hello, Rebel, and welcome back to my life. Yes, my life. It's mine. It's time for that talk about narcissism I promised, which seems more relevant than ever in light of our new president-elect. You've heard me say on this channel and my other podcasts and probably a lot of other places that I'm a narcissist, and I feel like a lot of you shake your head and laugh and go, that Garrett, he's so silly. Yeah, a lot of you seem to think I'm joking about this. I'm not. I consider myself to be a narcissist. It is a thing about me. I'm neither proud of it nor ashamed of it. Just like declaring that I am happy or sad or hungry does not mean that I'm saying I'm manic or depressive or anorexic. I'm just saying a thing that I notice about myself. I tend to default to thinking about myself, always. I tend to think about my own comfort and ambitions and feelings before anybody else's, and I also tend to think I'm pretty great. I think that we all have one thing in our life that we focus on more than anything else. Some people focus on themselves, some people focus on their families, some people focus on work, some people focus on animals. All of us have one thing that we focus on more than anything else, and oftentimes that tends to depend on who we are as people as well as how we were brought up. I don't really worry too much about why I am this way. Part of it might be that growing up I was told often by friends and family that I was really smart and capable. And whether or not that was true at the time, nowadays I definitely catch myself thinking I'm very smart and capable when there is very little evidence in the situation to suggest either one of those things is true. Now, this isn't even necessarily a bad thing. An overabundance of confidence lets me start projects that other people might be hesitant to embark upon, and confidence is also pretty enticing when you are trying to get other people to help you. And in fact, I would say that the only downside of the way that I am is that if I'm not careful, I can really easily hurt other people. I often preach self-awareness as a really important quality, and this is part of the reason why. There is nothing wrong with thinking that you're awesome. I think that more people should. But if you are unaware that you default to thinking you're awesome even when it's not the case, like, for example, if you think that you're qualified to be president of the United States even though you're not qualified and you're also kind of a terrible person, a lot of other people can get hurt. I've spoken to a lot of friends about anxiety and depression, and I've listened to people like John Green and Will Wheaton who are very open about their own dealings with their mental illness. Most of them say that one of the most helpful tools in dealing with their mental illness is just recognizing that it exists. Simply knowing that a self-invalidating thought comes from your depression makes it easier to resist or cast away that thought. Again, my narcissism is not equatable to a mental illness in any way, shape, or form. For one thing, it helps me way more often than it hurts me. But I am aware that it can be harmful to other people, and that is what I try to watch out for. I work constantly to try and recognize whether the way that I feel about myself is like justified by current circumstances, or if it's just because I tend to default to thinking that I'm great. For that reason, I think or hope that I'm more helpful than harmful to the people in my life because I spend time actively trying to see things outside of my own experience and see the world through other people's eyes. That doesn't come naturally to me, but I know that if I don't do it, if I let my own personal biases run rampant, I could be incredibly destructive to the people that I love. I would act only out of my own self-interest, whether it helped my friends and family or not. I would assume that I deserved everything that I have in life, rather than recognizing that lots of people helped me get where I am. And I would constantly seek to increase my own power and influence and success, no matter who I had to hurt on the way up. And that's one of the reasons I am scared right now, Rebel. Not for myself, but for other people who society has already fashioned into the perfect rungs for some other, more powerful narcissist to climb. That is it for today, Rebel. A quick reminder, I'm now offering writer training over on my Patreon. If you want to check it out, click that link right over there and find out how I do what I do to be successful as an indie author. We've got new videos coming out every Wednesday, and they're pretty great. Or at least I think they are. Thank you so much for watching. I will see my patrons on Wednesday, and I will see the rest of you on Friday. Bye!